Hello, welcome to CoreTV News at 7. I am Frank Omalape, and here are some of the reports we are filing now. Even with the extension of the collection of the permanent voter cards across the nation by one more week, hope of some eligible voters in Oyo State appear not happy with the development. Many of them are complaining that the entire process is tedious and shoddy and express fears of being disenfranchised ahead of the February elections. Our correspondent Omotayalo has details.
Ibadan residents have decried the continuous permanent voter cards distribution in the state as a product of ill preparation, while expressing fears of disenfranchisement.
Since last month I have been going, they tell me that I have to re-register. When I ask them where, they will say there is no machine to register me. They told me that I should wait until government decides what they are going to do. My name is not in the voters something and it's not there. And this is the card I got 2011.
Out of 100 people, 80% may not have a voters card, which is wrong. And we are supposed to vote. But they say Professor Jigawa say he's not going to allow the temporary one to be used unless we collect the original one. Well, with the original one, it's not yet collected.
An Ibadan North electoral officer, Shegun Olukunle, who served as an agent to redirect people to the specific centers where they can get their cards, pleaded that people should exercise more patience, adding that only voters with the permanent voter cards will be allowed to vote.
Yeah, we are trying our best. The delay may be from the headquarters, Abuja, but we are just trying our best. INEC are trying their best to see that everybody got his own PVC.
For this resident, Olaiwola Philip, who just got his PVC, and Inolaji Olorude, who is still hoping to get his card, both say the election should not be postponed on any grounds, adding that it would not go down well with citizens.
It is very, very better that the federal government and state government should mandate it to give people holiday, probably 2 days, and they mandate them to work at weekends. So election should not be shifted. We are unable to vote in Nigeria.
What is the evidence that even if they postpone the election, those that were unable to get their voters card today will be able to get theirs later? So it's a gimmicks.
Even with the uncomfortable situation in collecting the card, many still say they are undaunted and will do their best to ensure that they exercise their civic rights. Omotayo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
As Nigeria gets set for the 2015 general elections, the resident electoral commissioner in Lagos, Akin Orebi, has appealed to Lagosians to go out and collect their permanent voter cards. Orebi made this note to journalists after a closed-door meeting with Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola at the State House in Ikeja. He says INEC has concluded plans to ensure that all eligible voters are not disenfranchised during the poll.
What we've done is to make arrangements locally to ensure that the cards are available for collection at the various polling units across the state. Our appeal to Lagosians who have not collected theirs and who did register either in 2011 or last year, 2014, is now to come out to collect their cards. They are now as closest as they can be made available to them at their various homes near where they're going to vote, or exactly where they're going to vote on election days. So we urge them to find the time to also come out to collect the cards. We are also appealing at this moment to the Lagos State government to help us consider maybe declaring a public holiday on Friday or so to also enable people who are busy with work to come out and collect these cards.
Foremost Islamist scholar Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has faulted the alleged plot to postpone the general elections scheduled for this month. He wants the Independent National Electoral Commission to go ahead and conduct elections because, according to him, a 100-year restriction would not make the election flawless. Gumi made this known in Kaduna while unveiling an election monitoring tool by a non-governmental organization, My Choice, My Pride Foundation, which is aimed at getting election results from all the geopolitical zones in the country. He argued that INEC has improved while urging Nigerians to be patient with the election management body. The Islamic scholar has urged the two main political parties to make conscious efforts to avoid a repeat of the post-election violence in 2011. Why the police authorities are to deploy officers of the Special Force Unit to protect electoral officials and materials during and after the February elections. Inspector General Police Sulaiman Abba has directed the unit, which comprises officers and men of Special Protection Unit and the Counter-Terrorism Unit, to mobilize for deployment. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that the IG passed on the message at a briefing with senior officers in Abuja. He added that the directive demonstrates the readiness and resolve of the police force to ensure hitch-free and credible general elections. Ojukwu also noted that some of the strategies put in place by the police high command are already being implemented. And now the battle for who becomes the next governor of Lagos State has continued to intensify. The Lagos PDP governorship campaign train Tuesday birth in Ikeja area of the state. Our correspondent Oluwaseyi Adegoke filed this report.
It was fun galore at the campaign ground. Party supporters, not minding the scorching sun, trooped out in their large number to welcome the Lagos PDP governorship candidate, Jimmy Agbaje. Chairman of the party in the state, Tunji Shele, implores the people to vote for Agbaje at the forthcoming election.
The federal votes are very important to PDP in Lagos. It's important to Jimmy Agbaje winning. Your votes are equally important to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan winning. It's equally important to all our candidates, from the senatorial seats to the House of Reps seats and the House of Assembly seats.
Agbaje assures the people that his administration will work for them if voted into power.
This same government, they say they are for the people. They say they want to continue. But they say not continue. They can't put advert or placard outside. They put change for something. I say for this Lagos, anytime I see that change, you know what you mean they do? Anytime I see them, I go just say, Amen. I assure you that we are here for you. The job of government is not to bully you. The job of government is not to harass you. The job of government is to ask you how your business can do better. Yes, sir. And how it can do better, because if you do better, you will employ more people in your business. Yes, sir. But the government of today, they enjoy to just harass us.
He also urged the people to vote for PDP candidates at all levels in the coming elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And now the Lagos PDP campaign train has moved to Lagos Island in preparation for the February 28th gubernatorial election. Here again is Oluwaseyi Adegoke's report from the campaign train venue.
Despite the scorching sun, the people of Lagos Island trooped out to welcome the Lagos PDP governorship candidate, Jimmy Agbaje. Former Minister for State Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, says Jimmy Agbaje is the right choice for a greater Lagos.
You can only rely on someone you trust. We have given them an opportunity for 16 years to serve us. They have failed us.
Lagos PDP leader Bode George berets the present administration, saying it is inhuman and unfair to the people of Lagos State.
The most important thing is the human being. The only thing that is missing in our government in Lagos is that they are inhuman. How can you have a man who came in Bole Kaja with rubber slippers because of the love, because of the accommodating nature of Lagosians? We accepted everybody. What had he done when our Baba trusted him? He has appropriated all the assets of Lagos State. What will, for me now, what else am I looking for? But as long as I breathe, we will make sure that all the assets of this government in Lagos will be returned to the people. Yes, sir. The people. Yes, sir. To the people. Will be returned to the people.
Jimmy Agbaje, the Lagos PDP governorship candidate, assures the people of gaining all what they have lost to the present administration if he is voted for at the polls.
When appointments are to be made, when you are talking about market women leader, there's a deliberate attempt to make sure that our markets are run and governed by people who do not know where Lagos is coming from. When you look at our Lagos, all the assets of Lagos are being taken over in the name of public enterprise and given into private pockets. You know, I have no fear. As far as those assets are concerned, I have no fear that we will take them back.
The Lagos PDP urged the people to vote for Jimmy Agbaje as he is the only person that can liberate Lagosians. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
A recent survey conducted for Anna Foundation by NOI polls on the Lagos State governorship election is predicting a tight race between All Progressive Congress Akinwumi Ambode and his People's Democratic Party counterpart Jimmy Agbaje. It shows a marginal 5% point lead for Ambode, with 25% of the surveyed respondents pitching their tent with him. The result of the poll released in Abuja indicates 21% of them showed a presence for Agbaje. It, however, noted 50% of those polled are undecided on their choice of candidate with a few weeks to the February 28 election. The survey result also shows that both candidates have strong support from eligible voters across all age groups. Your TV News at 7. We'll take a short break and now we'll be back with more stories after this time out. Do join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Joined us, this is CoreTV News at 7, broadcasting live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page, is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can as well follow us at CoreTV News NG. And our YouTube page is youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, the news. And now the presidential flag bearer of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has promised to put the nation's economy back on track of development if elected during the February 14th poll. Buhari stated these at an interactive section with members of the organized private sectors. Our correspondent Abiola Luwole's report is presented from our studios.
The essence of the meeting, according to a presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, is to give an insight into the manifestos of the party to the members of the operators of the private sectors. Speaking on the plans to revitalize the Nigerian economy if elected, Buhari says tackling insecurity, corruption, and ensuring stable power supply will be the first on his agenda during his administration.
Our studies show that we will require no less than 200,000 trained personnel to support the initiative to provide power and light of Nigeria. Apart from the inherent direct employment that this will give, the technical cost production, the saving from self-generation by Nigerians who currently spend a lot of their income on purchase of diesel and petrol to generate their own electricity to reduce the burden of their disposable income.
Buhari would decry the inability of Nigeria to have a functioning refinery, called on the federal government to publish the forensic report on the missing $20 billion. He says such funds, if available, will have been used to assist in building needed infrastructure for the country.
$20 billion at 210 naira to the dollar. is equal to 4.2 trillion, nearly a year's federal budget. It is true that this sum cannot be accounted for. This is grotesque form of corruption.
For his take, Governor Fashola says voting out the opposition party remains the only way of changing the future of the country to make it a better one.
The transformation that has been put forth has headed south, not north. The Naira has weakened, interest rates have skyrocketed, and it is for us to choose whether we want 4 more years of that.
As political gladiators continue to seek the support of the electorates ahead the February polls, all what Nigerians are waiting for is a violent-free and fair elections.
Now, President Goodluck Jonathan has received a report of the forensic audit of the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission from representatives of PricewaterhouseCoopers. The audit was ordered in the aftermath of claims by the then Central Bank Governor Lamido Sanusi that $20 billion was missing from the nation's coffers. The report was submitted by the country's senior partner of the audit firm, Uyi Akpata, at a brief ceremony witnessed by the Auditor General of the Federation.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. My name again is Uyi Akpata, the country's senior partner of PricewaterhouseCoopers in Nigeria. It's a privilege for us to have conducted this exercise on behalf of government, and I hope you will find it useful, as I said, in undertaking the continuous reforms in the petroleum industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and the Auditor General of the Federation, thank you. You know, there's been so much of controversies over this NNPC and leakages or not leakages. The National Assembly have looked into it. I remember the Senate has also looked into it. They also used professionals to look into it. And whatever they get the reports, what appears in the papers from speculations is very high. Figures that I can't even imagine that the country would earn that kind of money. It's been branded on the newspapers, so I'm quite pleased that you've taken a forensic audit of this. It's voluminous, and I will give it to the professional because that's how the government works. There are statutory people that have the statutory responsibilities to handle such assignments, and who is the Auditor General of the Federation. So the General will look at it, and at least within the week, let us get the key highlights, because the media will want to know the key findings, vis-a-vis the Senate findings, and the figures being branded in the newspaper, because Nigerians must be interested. Indeed, you mentioned the issue of the reform in the sector. Everybody knows that the sector needs to be reformed, and I believe that by the time we go through the petroleum industry bill and make it into a law, most of these lapses will be correct. Thank you. Auditor General, thank you. Okay.
The federal government has confirmed that bird flu is now in 16 states. Supervising Minister of Health Kaliru Al-Hassan disclosed this in a press briefing in Abuja. He added that health officials have been sent to affected states to examine people who may have been exposed to the affected farms and livestock markets.
Now, it is across the 16 states of the Federation. So this is what we have said, and already since then, the response plan has been activated. This is mostly an agricultural issue, right, that affects mostly poultry. Of course, there's always human near the poultry. And we have taken samples from all these areas where we have outbreak, and not a single case of human being has been found. So we continue to sensitize. As we said, part of the plan is to reactivate the various components we used to have, the human component, the agri component, and information, so that they come back to where they were.
This is CoreTV News at 7. We'll take another break shortly. We'll be back with more stories after this time out. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Outside Nigeria, jailed Al Jazeera reporter Mohammed Fahmy, an Egyptian-Canadian national, has renounced his Egyptian citizenship on Tuesday, paving the way for his release and deportation under a president's decree. The move comes after Canadian Foreign Minister John Bardi said later Monday that Fahmy's release was imminent following the freeing on Sunday of his Australian colleague Peter Greste. The two men were arrested in December 2013 alongside Egyptian producer Baha Mohammed and later sentenced to up to 10 years in prison on charges of aiding the blacklisted Muslim Brotherhood.
I have contacts with the Muslim Brotherhood, as with the Noor Party, as with everyone. This is how my job works. I will try to interview Zawari. If I go to Lebanon tomorrow, I'll struggle to interview Nasrallah. That's the job of a journalist. Today is World Press Freedom Day. The whole world is celebrating this day. All lights are focused on us. Please be merciful on us.
And finally, South African Education and Human Rights Authorities said Tuesday they had launched investigation into racism at private schools after parents at one of the schools complained that black and white pupils were segregated. The probe was ordered after 30 parents of children at Kuro Foundation School in Pretoria wrote a petition last month condemning the splitting of classes based on race.
It was never a case of putting black people in one class and white people in another class. It was a question of getting language parameters set in place. Black people in general prefer their children to be educated in English, but there's also a large white contingent people here with Afrikaans children. So in my opinion, it just made a lot of sense for education purposes to have the English children in one class and the white children in another, or not white children, but Afrikaans children in another class.
It's not just about languages. First they said it's about culture. It's not about culture because you get black kids that's Zulu, Sotho speaking. It's not just about that, no.
Even though my child's in the Afrikaans class, she has black friends, coloured friends, and they all get on very, very well. There was never a problem. She said to me, Mom, I don't know what the problem is because we don't have a problem with each other.
We are building a democratic country. Our neighbors are all different colours at home, so why come to school and then segregate them? So that was our issue. Our issue was, what are you teaching a grade R little boy or girl about race? Because in the class there's no one of color. We've all been to school. We all know how we respect teachers at school. We all know how we sort of put teachers on a pedestal. So if there is no teacher of color on a pedestal that kids can go and look up to, what are we teaching our kids? You know, it is a problem. We need to integrate from that level all the way down.
Well, and that's a wrap on CoreTV News at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Don't forget, join us at 9:45 for our primetime bulletins. Thank you for watching.